Yes, thank you very much for it. If now we respond to the question.
No.
Any question from the group?
Now you don't raise questions. Q&A, question and answer, interaction.
I want to say something about the migrant workers.
Migrants.
Yeah, especially the who are especially the women, choose the prostitution because when they are coming in the other countries, they don't have anything to do. So they are thinking, because of many Filipino women, they are in the Korea. So they are thinking that this is the way then we can earn much money and we can support our families. Because many women, they belongs to the poor family. They can't support their families. And because of some reasons, they're just choosing this profession. Because they're thinking this is the easiest way to get more money and soon. And that's why the government, they are supporting them. Sometimes they're working for the betterment of the migrant people. But still, they are facing many problems. But the churches also, they are supporting them that they should be. I know some of the organization in Korea, they are working for the prostitute women that they should get rid that profession and then they should live the normal life. And I really encourage those organizations, especially the churches. I know the one that's Dorebang in Korea. They're helping the women, the prostitute women, especially the Thailand and the Filipino women. That they are teaching them some basic work, then they can work and they can leave that profession. And the many women, they are changing because I met those women, the prostitute women, and they are saying that that is our need. We want to get money, so that's why we are in this profession.
So you mean church?
Yeah, church. If they are church and they provide them.
You mentioned church. Is it Catholic or any denomination?
Oh, no, that's it doesn't matter. The denomination for them, it doesn't matter. That's just an organization.
You know the organization run by the church.
Yeah.
So what kind of church is it?
Oh, that's a Presbyterian church. But no. But doesn't matter that who is belongs which destination.
They are ecumenical.
Yeah. So So I appreciate that the churches all belongs to it. I think the Catholic also belongs to that, and they are supporting that organization.
I'm asking because I don't think the Catholic Church here supporting such kind of. So far, I haven't heard any Catholic.
No, because the Filipino, I know the one woman. She belongs to that Dorebang. She's the woman coordinator.
Or something like that.
Yeah. And in the Philippines, that the Catholics also they are supporting them.
Yeah, there is some shelter run by the women's congregation, but on the diocesan level or national level, I don't think so. We have, Catholic Church has any such kind of organization.
The Good Shepherd, nuns, one of their main charisms is
Yeah. Small shelters.
Others
they all been silent.
Jackie and Ching.
just one.
I want to add some information or kind of also when we talk about the dysfunction of the society, like in the case of Indonesian migrant workers, we have more than 5 million migrant workers. And then when I did some research in Singapore, in Malaysia, and also in the sending areas, this not, at the moment, it's not only about how these poor people, they go to the rich country to find a job. But they already rich in their area, but they still go looking for a job in other countries. I mean, it's 10 years, 15 years, and abroad, working abroad. That what I see also, that even though that's not quite poor, the area, if they can do something there, actually they can live there, I mean for living. But this is a kind of trend. So there is a trend that maybe that's to answer, to find easiest way. Because if you have to deal with in your village to do farming, no more young people want to do farming, and then so that's kind also the trend, the attraction of the rich country to give them experience, not only money also. No, it's, we can see that. And I met also, I share my photo that's in a shelter in Singapore, run by lay women Catholics. Before she works in for the bishop also for the shelter of migrant workers. So they run away from their employer. So I found that even though they get so many troubles in their host country, they will come back again and again. So also there is something wrong in our own society that needs to be, yeah, because this happened.
It's not worthwhile working in rural areas now. No. Even the produce that they have is not sold at a price that is worthwhile. If they really could sell at a price that is worthwhile, that the price of all foodstuffs would go up in the city, and the city people would be up in arms, no? If foodstuffs. So the city profits at the expense of the rural areas. And you understand what I'm saying? That I think it is still a dysfunction in society that rural people are not paid a proper price for the amount of work that they do. And the prices are kept low because if the prices go up in the city, the government will have to face a revolt. No? So it is part of a dysfunction in the way that people are not encouraged to stay in their own place and given a proper job, work in their own place and given a proper money for their work. So it's not just attraction of going abroad. It's not what I have a story at the beginning of my book on tourism. I can't tell the story. It was my first experience in the Philippines in 1980, because somewhere in the story I'll break down. That was my first exposure to what tourism and migration is about. And it's so fresh in my mind that I can only write it, I can't speak it.
I'd like to share. The ecological crisis and the future of Catholic youth is the given thing. So I just realized some future problem nearby our parishes. When we talk about the tourism and bonded labor, we do have the bonded labor in Nepal, and so that the one family, particular family has to serve one particular master for generation to generation, not only one generation but generation to generation. And talking about the bonded labor, but what I feel, those people who works in the congregation and society and the churches in Paris, they always been complaining against the father and sister that they doesn't give the proper salary, they doesn't give the holidays, they have no holiday, and they always get a complaint. So in the own community, those people who works in the church community, one society, they always have a complaint. In every, those who works with the sister, those who work with the fathers, those who works in the Catholic school, or those who works in the church, who are the workers who are by Catholic by faith, always have a complaint. And because since I always have communication with everyone, so everyone tells me those things, though I'm a small person. So I have heard many people's voice about that. So when we talk about these things, I feel that that's also kind of servitude, of enforced servitude. And they are always if they complain, they would be told that if you doesn't want to work, don't work and leave the work. But they have no other choice to go. They have no other alternative work to do. So they are forcing themselves to work within the Catholic community, though they are not getting well paid economic time. The second thing is that Kathmandu is a small city, and the one part of the city is a tourism area. We call it Thomel, where the particular tourist comes and lives there, and they have a lot of restaurant, guest house, hotel, dance bar, everything. And the concept of the sex tourism has been arising in that area, and it's also now well known as the second Bangkok, because Bangkok, you know already the prostitution. So the Thomel is a small tiny city within the Kathmandu Valley, known as the second Bangkok, because of the prostitution. And the more than 100,000 of young girls and the boys are involving with this sex tourism indirectly in the name of this the dance bar and the massage center, many things like that. So it's coming up and up and up. So it's every time it's going, it's increasing. And another risk is that the UN resides nearby our Paris. There's one big area, the very VIP area, where the UN offices are. And I feel that UN people are also contributing in the promotion of those kind of things. Because nearby the UN there is one big street. Now we have the street is full of the restaurant now. Very, very, very expensive restaurant they are starting, opening in that street. This street is quite near to our Paris's. And I afraid that this is every night new restaurant are coming, new things are opening in that area. So I afraid if there will also be a sex tourism in that area also, because tourists also start to come in that area. So this new area called Thomel. The previous one is a Thomel. Now they gave the new name Thomel to the new area, where is possibly in the future the sex tourism will grow. So it's and I afraid that those things will impact the Catholic youth nearby, because we live there. Many of us will live there.
Yeah, I have to pray. Father Desmond also input, and also Father Arok to deal with the CST social teaching from the people's perspective. In that in mind, I would like to point out of course, the human development. I mean the popularity and progress here, and also social concern. Even in the Benedict XVI mentioned the structural scene. But the mentioning the structural scene is not good enough. I talked to Father Arok said that many people said churches' social teachings or insistical folks, the animates something, and then local church is responsible for the establishing a good pastoral plan or action plan to implement such idea and so on. But the approach is quite important. You see, even the Charity in Truth 2009 mentions the structural scene as well as individual moral responsibility at the same time. Rather, I've seen many times Catholic social teachings more focus on the individual moral responsibility rather than structural scene. If the focus is to reduce the individual, the structural scene is still there, and all fault is individual. So if you deal with these such kind of problem from the people's perspective, I hope both of you deal with the different. We offer some different approaches so that come up with a different solution to solve this kind of thing. That's one thing. Another thing is, please discern. Discern, is it the alternative people-to-people tourism or mass and luxury tourism? The church the Catholic Church in South Korea, the Protestant too, there are people, faithfuls are crazy about the coming to the Jerusalem, the holy sacred place. What do you call Holy Land? Yeah, Holy Land.
Holy Land.
Now it is massive. and also very luxurious. And now it's not only plane, but also cruise. It's very luxurious cruise. Cruise, you know, cruise. Ship. Is this how much? How much is it?
From Korea,
I don't know. Yeah, from Korea to the
Holy Land.
yeah, Holy Land. Maybe 10 days or 20 days, something like that. I don't know how much. Maybe 10,000 US dollars per person. The church involved in such kind of activity. You see, so the one of the weekly of Catholic Church here, they advertise this kind of the luxurious and the massive tourism in the name of a pilgrim. You see, pilgrimage. So I don't think this is a good idea. And also this is what you said, that the massive luxurious tourism, which very much hurt the people there, very much hurt God Himself.
I want you to the Palestinian table. We have to say it loudly.
It is spread in every country now. They would like to do this kind of luxuries for the pilgrim to the Holy Land or
Religious
to,
tourism.
yes,
Yeah,
it becomes
they hurt that
business.
there's people there, and also and on the other hand, they get some profit. You see, out of this tourism, church gain money.
So it's hand, the hands of the church and those who are capital together.
The number of people haven't spoken, they're talking among themselves for him. Let's hear what you all are saying. Don't worry about your English and all, don't worry about the English. What sense are you all making out of all this?
I have nothing to say because my own director, he's the one who's going to lead this kind of pilgrimage. So, I don't know the kind of church that we live in today. I still keep on receiving inputs and try to draw out a big picture out of the thing. So I have not much comment, maybe others comment something.
Just I will say a few things. The last question that raised by Paul, I'm also the concern of this issue, how especially the Catholic Church name of the pilgrim is. So we are using the lots of money. It's this way. So how the Catholic Church is support, and another thing is the migration issue and tourism issue. So my concern is I'm from the Bangladesh. So we see the Catholic social teaching is still under table. It's not the people or the lay person or even the priest or clergy are also aware on the Catholic social teaching. So migration issue is it's a common issue also in Bangladesh. Only the last year, the Catholic Church in Bangladesh, they started the desk under the Justice and Peace Commission. Only the small desk is called the migration desk now. But the problem it's a long before. Now is a Dhaka is a capital, and internal migration is very high. And Dhaka is so crowds, even all the Christians also, the other dioceses is becoming the people, the faithful. So all people are coming to Dhaka. So it's a internal migration is also a very less. So just I'm thinking that we were talking that the Catholic social teaching is not actually recognized by the people. Means we don't know also, it's under table still. So that's how we can help, especially also the young people, how we can do it. And also maybe it needs some methodology. So it's for the young people, how the social teaching we can available and with the friendly with the youth aspects. So that can, maybe you can throw some lights on this.
I'll do it in the next session.
Okay.
I want to hear a few more people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jackie, you haven't said one word all these times. You're looking at me.
Wait a minute. I need to draft something.
There is a question in my mind, during this input session. Yes, we do, in our context in Hong Kong, we do have a lot of issues related to what we have discussed about the migrant worker situation, and also there are people who come to seek for better living, from mainland China or from the other countries. But what in my mind is there any how do we understand as a Catholic, as a church, on the sense of citizenship? Because from time to time we have these kinds of issues, like back to 10 years ago we have the issues of the right of abort from the mainland China. Yeah, there are the fathers, they are the Hong Kong people, but their kids are in China. The kids in China because they have the cross-border marriage. Yeah, so it happens that there was the first time that in the history that we have a widespread of hate towards the people, from
migrants.
outside, the migrants, and somehow it's very, how to say, ironic, because Hong Kong, the people ourselves, like 90% of our parents, they are from mainland China. Hong Kong itself is a kind of migrant society that most of our fathers' generation, our grandparents' generation, they are migrated from China. So they themselves, many of us ourselves have experienced the migration ourselves. But at this time, when we are become the citizen here, then we exclude the others. And also recently we have the issues of the domestic migrant workers
The Philippines.
from other countries, because in our immigration policy we have a kind of discriminative law saying that those who are working as domestic helpers, they can't apply for the citizenship after certain years. But for the others who are the migrant workers, but they are working in other areas, they have the right to seek for citizenship after working for 7 years. So a few of the domestic workers, they try to brought the court case because they want to challenge this kind of discriminative practice. So it brought a kind of division. It brought a kind of conflict inside our society, that how we understand the sense of citizenship and how we include the others who are coming from other countries.
So there is a lot on migration here from church documents, but I'll tell you a public secret. The bishops don't write these documents. They get somebody, Father Arokisami or somebody, to write a document. He will write a document, the bishops look at it, nice document, they'll sign it. Whoever wants to practice it can practice it. That's the way it operates. I think the priorities in the church and priorities even from the center in the Vatican are quantitative. Can we increase the number of Catholics? That's top priority. Therefore, catechetics, liturgy, totally inward-looking things get high priority in the church. Secondly, I worked a lot with Protestant churches, I've begun to see that our parishes are part of the problem, and therefore they can't be part of the solution. So Ali, you better listen to what I've got to say about parishes, Parishes are very good for organizing small little things, but to become Catholic, you have to think in terms of the whole of Hong Kong. You have to think in terms of the whole of Malaysia. The Protestant churches don't have that sort of organization. So they think much more Catholic. They think much more universal. Whereas Catholics think only in terms of their parish. Parish is their life. And so the parish borders have become borders that have made us small and parochial. Can you understand what I'm saying? We think only in small terms. We can't think of bigger terms. And then public secret, 90% of the bishops of Asia cannot think beyond their diocese. I've worked for them for 10 years. Their diocese is their kingdom. Anything outside, not. 7% out of the remaining 10% can think in terms of their country, and they are really concerned about their country. Only 3%, people like Cardinal Kim and Bishop Labayan, Bishop Mansap and all, these were people who could think in terms of what Asia, the church in Asia, can offer to the global church. Parish, diocese is part of the problem. And until we can begin to think more Catholic, until we can think of the whole world as our parish, and that what happens in one part of the world affects the other part of the world as well. Until we can think in those terms, so Ali, you want to react to what I'm saying? It's very good that you work in your parish. What I'm saying is, you need to broaden your outlook so that the whole world is your concern. God loved the world, not just your parish.
I'm just thinking, I'm working in a such a structures where I cannot tell you who is it. Where my bishop is under the thinking of diocese, and when my parish priest is exactly like the parish priest that you are thinking that he like pilgrimage a lot, he like catechesis a lot, he don't like social justice. I'm thinking of as a youth worker and as also a diocesan staff as myself, how should I going to respond in this kind of structure? I'm already in the structure, no matter what happens. I'm already in there.
Yes.
If I don't do anything, I'm supporting them. But if I'm doing anything, then I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to
See, one thing is that you're doing something, without a doubt. That is very good. You can't get out of it. But even while you're there, if I can give an example of a marriage that is not working out. You're in that marriage, so you've got to struggle within it. You have to know, you cannot settle down and say, this is enough. You've just got to struggle to improve the marriage. So you've got to struggle to improve. I'm telling Ishwanti, listen, I can afford to talk, all right? I've been around for a long time. I've been kicked around by superiors. But if I believe, and this is what I want to close on, if I believe that God put me over there and nobody else was in that place, that is my unique contribution. Whether I succeed or fail doesn't matter. That's for God to worry about, not for me to worry about. I have to keep on trying there in that place, because God has put me there with a very special purpose. So if 40 years later people come like Paul and tell me, please come to Korea because what you did 30 years ago was great, what else can I ask for? Some approval. Ultimately, I have to wait for God to approve my work, my life.
Father, practically it's very difficult. Like if I do something, I'm always in a difficult condition. That's why I'm not getting job in Kathmandu. Because those people, students, youth who are junior than me, they got a job, they have a very high life. But I'm straining because I cannot get a job because I'm not supported because of those things. So it's a bit difficult when we talk about practical level.
Oh, no, I don't doubt about that. I don't doubt about that. But,
Okay, we have a break. No?
Yes, now I think time is beyond. Simply almost 35. So thank you very much for everybody here.
Yeah, let's clap for the American speaker.